Actions speak louder than words. That's the common expression that people have passed down through generations looking to inspire change. However, even though that is a statement that will ring true for most, one must think to themselves that maybe, just maybe, a single voice can inspire change throughout an entire industry.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
On June 27, 2011, CM Punk took his name to new heights with a scathing bashing of the WWE.
And I'd like to think maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's dead, but the fact is, it's gonna get taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family.
He used this limited time that he had left on his contract to mock and ridicule how the company was run, in a way that struck a chord with the fan base that promotion was alienating. But only a decade prior, another man followed a similar path to prominence with his own anti-establishment persona, one that would define a generation with his overall tough, rough, and downright stone-cold attitude. Described as the toughest SOB in WWE history, Steve Austin has defined what it means to be a badass in the world of professional wrestling. Whenever the crowd would hear the now iconic glass shatter, you knew that there would be hell to pay.
Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What will happen when these two defiant and chaotic entities duke it out in the middle of the squared circle? Will the beer-drinking Texas Rattlesnake be able to defeat his opponent? Or will the self-proclaimed best in the world prove that title to be appropriate as he drops a pipe bomb on his enemy? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ultimate Dream Warfare.
Alright everybody, welcome to Ultimate Dream Warfare, the show where your biggest dream matches become reality. How are y'all doing? My name is Dominic, of course, behind the commentary table. And it seems as though, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to witness not your traditional wrestling matchup. Okay, I'm not expecting a lot of collar and elbow tie-ups here. I'm expecting this to be none other than a knockout, drag-out brawl, as perhaps the master of that style of professional wrestling, Stone Cold Steve Austin, enters the ring as he is set for a battle against CM Punk. These two men, at the core of their personalities, perhaps almost identical. However, when you look at the bigger scope of these two individuals, in my opinion, they may just be the most polarizing and opposite figures in the history of professional wrestling. But right now, there you see Stone Cold Steve Austin in his traditional black trunks, waiting for that man, CM Punk. And the crowd, ladies and gentlemen, on their feet, as these two rambunctious rebel-rousers are ready to recite their own rendition of relentless destruction on one another. As CM Punk coming out in that iconic t-shirt there holding the lightning bolt. But right now, these two former WWE, or in Stone Cold's case, WWF champions, these two incredible performers, they have beaten the very best. Okay, the likes of John Cena, the likes of The Rock, the likes of Vince McMahon. These two individuals have wreaked so much havoc throughout their entire careers, as these two men have also grown to become perhaps the most polarizing figures in the history of this great sport. I'm more referring to CM Punk when I say that, but nonetheless, CM Punk, he doesn't care about anybody else's opinions. He cares about what he can do in the ring, and right now he's got to show the world what he can do in that ring when going up against one of the legendary figures in professional wrestling history. If you were going to make a Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling, you've got to include Stone Cold's name. CM Punk, however, perhaps looking to show the world that he should be on that Mount Rushmore, as right now Stone Cold telling Punk exactly what he thinks of him with a bit of sign language. However, right now CM Punk throws Stone Cold across the ring, ducks underneath. And oh, wait a second, immediately catching him in the neck breaker. Stone Cold gets taken down. And of course, Stone Cold, he has had that long history of neck issues as a clothesline. Taking down Steve Austin commences by CM Punk. Now there you see Punk waiting for Steve to get back up, and he does. As now CM Punk, perhaps a bit too focused on his own ego right now, taunting the legendary figure himself, as these two men looking in tip-top shape right now. With a punch to the face, a punch to the jaw again by Steve Austin, as Punk turns around and is immediately sent to the outside. I said it earlier, I don't expect this matchup to be very, well, I guess you could say traditional. I don't expect a lot of grappling. I don't expect a lot of amateur wrestling maneuvers. I expect this to be a brawl. I expect this to be a fight. And you're seeing it right now as this match almost immediately goes to the outside, and CM Punk perhaps having the disadvantage on the outside, as Stone Cold, has made his name off of being an incredible brawler in the history of professional wrestling. He has mastered that style, and you're seeing it right now as he has taken control of CM Punk, throwing him across the outside area right into the announce table. And it seems as though Steve Austin already rearranging some furniture here. However, Punk waits for him, and now he's going after him, throws him into the announce table that he just dismantled. That's CM Punk. Well, there you see, bringing it right back into the ring, and he realizes that he may have the disadvantage on the outside, so he brings it back within the confines of the squared circle, springboard off the top, hitting him with the flying clothesline, and now Punk has the advantage as these two men once again share the ring. But there you see, Steve Austin getting a knee to the face before throwing him across. Okay, CM Punk going for that signature knee strike bulldog combination. CM Punk, however, being sent to the ground, Steve Austin not having it, and now Austin has him in the opposing corner, and now there you see, or perhaps trying to stomp a mud hole or two inside the body of CM Punk, and then once again telling him exactly how he feels, once again with that sign language. Okay, and I don't think you have to read between the lines to realize what Stone Cold thinks of his adversary tonight. But right now, these two opponents, these two almost polar opposites battling here as Punk, being sent across the ring, and there you see Stone Cold ducks underneath but leaps onto him with the Lou Thesz press, just raining down the punches, going for the cover. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count there. And Steve Austin perhaps looking a bit agitated following that attempt at a victory. However, right now, Punk, he gets up. Steve Austin, however, goes for a punch. Punk reverses. Throws him into the corner, hits the knee, and then finally connects with the Bulldog combination, taking him down. And there you see, CM Punk, he's on fire right now. However, Punk with the overhand shots, and now taking him down, going towards the upper back there with that knee. Wait a second, CM Punk out of nowhere has him in the Anaconda Vice, focusing on the neck, focusing on the shoulders of his opponent. Of course, I mentioned earlier, that's going to be a big target for CM Punk in this matchup, but there you see Steve Austin getting out of that hold, getting out of the Anaconda Vice, and now Punk, going after Steve, but instead Austin gets out of the way there. However, these two men going back and forth now. No, wait a second! Rock bottom connecting into another Anaconda Vice. Of course, both men have that history with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson himself. And right now, he turns the rock bottom into the Anaconda Vice, trying to tap out his opponent, trying to tap out Stone Cold Steve Austin. But CM Punk unable to keep him down for the tap out with that Anaconda Vice. But you gotta think, not one, but 2 Anaconda Vices back to back on Stone Cold. You gotta think it's taking a toll, but Stone Cold out of nowhere with the stunner. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Stone Cold out of nowhere, perhaps throwing out a Hail Mary of a Stone Cold stunner. I mentioned it just a few moments ago, okay, hitting not 1 but 2 Anaconda Vices on the already previously damaged neck of Steve Austin. CM Punk realizing it as a target, and right now Stone Cold perhaps hitting that stunner, realizing that he may be in critical condition, but instead Stone Cold gets sent across the ring, and CM Punk now right to the lower back. Oh, and then chest first into the corner, connecting into the German, and there you see the back of the head and neck of Stone Cold landing in the middle of the ring with that German suplex. And CM Punk, in my opinion, doing a great job keeping to this game plan. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, he is definitely not looking too good here. Okay, that stunner may have been his last chance of success, and right now, wait a second. CM Punk sees this as an opportunity, perhaps, launching himself to the outside. CM Punk showing that perhaps he's a bit more aerial, a bit more aerodynamic than his opponent, with the dive to the outside, launching him back into the ring, perhaps seeing this as an opportunity to gain a victory, going for the cover. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, getting the shoulder up once again. As these two men just in an absolute war here tonight, have to be thinking to themselves, how in the hell do I defeat my opponent? And that's exactly what we're going to be witnessing here tonight. Of course, Ultimate Dream Warfare, the rules are simple. There are no rules, no disqualification, no count out. As now, there you see Stone Cold with the punches right to the face of CM Punk. Okay, no disqualification, no count out. We do not want, hold on, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count following the Lou Thesz press. We want to see a clear-cut winner here in Ultimate Dream Warfare. As Stone Cold and CM Punk both trying to gain a victory here. But right now, there you see CM Punk going for the strikes, and once again, Stone Cold throws him into the corner, witnessing this as an opportunity, perhaps, as he, sends him face first into the top turnbuckle. But instead, there you see, right to the jaw of his opponent tonight. CM Punk, however, not looking too good. Stone Cold launching him to the outside, and this could be an opening for the Texas Rattlesnake. As these two men have just been in such a war here tonight, throwing him towards the barricade there, as now there you see CM Punk laying in a few punches of his own, taking down Steve Austin. Okay, I mentioned a few moments ago, no disqualification, no countouts. That's why you haven't heard the referee count, except for when trying to count the pinfall attempt. But right now, Stone Cold, getting out of a perhaps dangerous predicament. CM Punk having this wily look in his eyes, but instead he gets sent into the announce table. Both men climbing to the top, and now wait a second, Stone Cold connecting out of nowhere. Both men crashed through the table. CM Punk earlier hitting a rock bottom, and it seems though Stone Cold looking to steal the same finisher from the Grey One with a rock bottom through the announce table. 1, 2, 3. No, and he somehow kicks out. But he gets a kick to the back for his troubles there. Stone Cold out of nowhere with the rock bottom through the announce table, and yet he still can't keep him down as he hits him there with the sharp and vicious elbow. As CM Punk, he's down. I don't know how in the hell he kicked out. He's taking a stunner. He's taking a rock bottom through the announce table. He's taking so much punishment, but you can say the same thing about his opponent. As now, wait a second, Punk, out of nowhere, JTS, 1, 2, no, and he gets the shoulder up. CM Punk in utter shock and awe, and quite frankly, so am I. A part of me thought this match would be over by now, but ladies and gentlemen, it just shows you how much, these two men need this victory. How much these two crave a victory here tonight. In this legendary encounter, Steve Austin goes for a kick. Punk reverses. Instead, he kicks him in the stomach there, launching him across the ring. And CM Punk now perhaps seeing this as an opportunity with the strikes connecting on his opponent. And then once again into a neckbreaker. CM Punk, he calls himself the best in the world, and right now, perhaps if he hits this, he'll prove himself correct, as now off the top it connects with the Macho Man-like elbow drop to the heart. 1, 2, no, and again only a 2 count. As these two, I don't even know what to say. Stone Cold kicking out of everything, but you can say the same thing about his opponent as Punk. There you see, bouncing off the corner once again, connecting with yet another German. And Steve Austin's down. CM Punk, he looks down at his opponent, goes for yet another cover now. 1, 2, no, and now again, Punk can't keep the man down. Steve Austin, he's hit him with everything. Punk has hit him with everything. As now once again, there you see, leaping into the air. And once again, there you see, taking him down with the Lou Thesz press. Stone Cold now. Oh, well, there you see, waiting for his opponent to get up. Waiting for Punk to get up. Waiting for him to get up. Sees this as an opportunity, perhaps. Excuse me from stuttering, ladies and gentlemen, but right now, these two men... Oh, wait a second. Are in such a war. These two men are in such a war. GTS again. 1, 2, 3, and CM Punk out of nowhere connecting with the GTS to get the victory. Stone Cold waiting for him to get up. CM Punk, he got up and striked hard with that knee to the face, hitting him with his best shot. One last time, another GTS, and a victory for CM Punk. But my God, ladies and gentlemen, what a match, what an encounter, what a war, what a fight. Okay, I mentioned it earlier, this wasn't going to be your traditional grappling matchup. You weren't going to see a lot of collar and elbow tie-ups. What you saw was what you were gonna get and what you must have expected, which was a knockout, drag-out brawl, a fight between two of the greatest superstars in the history of this business. Punk, ladies and gentlemen, proving what he calls himself, the best in the world, getting the job done here against his opponent, and now CM Punk stands tall as he celebrates the victory here in Ultimate Dream Warfare. Thank you so much for watching this hellacious fight.
Next time on Ultimate Dream Warfare.